Hello, Star Bear Cubs. This is going to be a love and relationship reading. And I'm going to emphasize that this is for whoever felt drawn to this video and for whomever this resonates. This will not be everyone's story since this is general. It's very general. It's not even zodiac based. It's just for whoever sees this and just feels a little tug or a little nudge or a little poke to press play. So, and how I'm going to do this is I have the divine masculine represented on this side. Now that's not gender specific. That can be male or female, anyone who embodies the energy of the divine masculine. And I have the divine feminine. And so whoever embodies the energy of the divine feminine. So whatever side you feel you resonate with, but then I will put the masculine on this side, the feminine on this side, and then the mutual energies. But of course, as I like to do, I'm going to start off with some overarching energies, just to give us a clue where this is going. So this is love and relationship for whoever felt guided to this message at whatever time you felt guided to this message. May not resonate now, but it might make sense in a month or two if this is your story, but perhaps not the right timeline. We got conclusions are within reach. The full moon eclipse. And full moons, of course, they mean conclusions, they mean climax, they mean that it's sort of, if you imagine a new moon being like an empty balloon, and then as the month cycle goes on, the balloon is slowly being filled with water. And a full moon is the time when the balloon is the most full and ready to pop. And so, and then once it pops, then it's time to begin anew again. So it's sort of a time that's very emotionally charged, but also it's about to be the end of something. So put that there. What else can we get for the general energies of this love and relationship situation? Conclusions, of course, can mean that the relationship is about to end. It can mean that if there's a legal battle going on, that's about to, conclusions are about to be reached there. We need to dig a little deeper first. I also got the Fates and Loyal Heart, but in reverse. But let's take a look at these cards. The Fates, of course, implies something is destined, meant to be, and Loyal Heart is self-explanatory, that either you are somebody who's very loyal, giving, committed, or someone in your life is. However, it was in reverse. So, I will be reading from the book, The Fates. The essential meanings are fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. And the relationship messages, other people are who they are. You can't change them. The challenge is to accept them as they are and not try to make them otherwise to suit you. This is a time to look at how you attempt to mold people to fit your view of how they should be so you can remain in the relationship and avoid discomfort. What if who they are and whatever is happening between you and them in this situation is perfect from the perspective of spirit? Now is the time to accept what you cannot change, even if it means that you honor yourself, spirit, and the other person by moving on. Love unconditionally, for each of us is on our own journey, and we cannot direct that of another. Be aware that this relationship is indeed fated, and you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result of it. So I just want to reiterate, this doesn't mean that if you are in a crappy, abusive, toxic situation that you should just accept it for what it is. I really hope you didn't hear it that way. It means that you need to have You need to be at peace with the way the relationship is presenting itself at this time as being something that you can't change. So if it is a toxic, unhealthy situation, then you need to honor yourself by moving on. And that is also something that can be considered your destiny, is to move on, to make that decision, to make that call. Maybe that's where the conclusions are within reach is coming from, or what that's all about. But that's not necessarily the message here. But it is to say that you need to, you're being invited to accept things as being out of your hands. So a better way to put that is to not try and change your partner. That the way they are is the way they are. You can, this doesn't mean that you don't tell them what you need, that those necessary, conversations where you negotiate and share your feelings and compromise, that's not to say that not to bother to do that. However, if that necessary work has been done and the person is still not changing, you can't change them. That is who they are, that is how they are, and that is how they are with you. Because it takes two. So even though you might feel you've done all the work you need to do for the relationship, it still requires effort on their part as well. They have to want to change to the way you want them to be, or to whatever is needed to make the relationship work. And if they don't want to, then you can't change that. So Loyal Heart was in reverse, but I'm going to hold it upright so you can see it. And the essential meanings are fidelity, loyalty, and devotion. And I will read the protection message. Are you stubborn or overly tenacious about an idea? Or have you become so attached to something that you just don't know how to let it go? Oh, could it be that it's become so much a part of you that you wouldn't know who you are without it? Now is the time to look at outdated beliefs, old ideas, and misplaced loyalties. Betrayal is only a signal that it is time to prune away all who don't deserve your trust and have no place in your life. Be new, think new, and open your heart to new things. Let go of the old and all your attachments. Spirit has awesome plans for you, so make some room. Okay. I'll just put this over here. And a little bit more of the overall energy, which I think we're starting to get a picture here. This is really kind of a moment of, this is kind of an era of reckoning, taking stock of your current relationship and accepting that it is what it is, whether it's wonderful and harmonious and balanced and both your cups are full and it's equal give and take. That's wonderful. And that is what it is. And if your relationship is not working and hasn't been working for a while, then that's what it is. Just kind of facing the music that we can't really change a person. Only a person can change themselves. Wow, we got promise. I take this to mean that regardless of whether you are in a good relationship now or not, there is a promise of partnership. There is the promise of partnership, that there is someone for you. This is also a card of manifesting what you truly desire, and also the need to really believe it will happen. So in this case, if it's about, being in an otherwise healthy relationship, but there are some problems that you're both working through, just be positive about it. Believe that you can work it out. And if you are currently single or on your way out of a relationship, this is an encouragement that there is someone better out there for you, more suited to you, someone who is more of an energetic match for you, who you are now. And this is an interesting contrast. We have the full moon, which is the end. And then we have the new moon, which is, sorry, I'm trying to get this all in there, which is the new beginning. And again, you can have a new beginning within the context of a pre-existing relationship. That's the wrong book. Uh-oh. What happened? And we also have tree, grounding. So this is about the need for grounding. So something has been, perhaps something is unbalanced, and you need to just be firmly rooted in what you know you want. Make sure that you are balanced. There is an importance of being balanced when you are dealing with an issue. So whether you are dealing with a legal issue or a divorce or separation, or whether you are simply working through a minor conflict within your relationship, there is the importance of being grounded as you work through that, so that you are always coming from a place of fairness, of kindness, that you are your actions are coming from a place of love and knowing firmly what it is you want, so that you are not bending over backwards, so that you are not overextending or overexerting yourself, not overgiving, not overcompromising. You need to be firmly rooted in what you know you need, because that's the only way you're going to know how to proceed. Wow, that rhymed. That was awesome. Okay. So now let's get into the tarot portion of this. Let's do a little more digging. So what does Spirit have to tell those who were drawn to this reading about their love and relationship situation? Okay, we have the High Priestess reversed. So that means that there's some element of secrets or mystery, something not being shared. The Divine Masculine is not in tune with their intuition. There's some element of not being aware of what they want or what they think, or there's something being hidden. And I'm just going to show you the High Priestess card, because there's a lot of imagery here. There's a black pillar and a white pillar, which symbolizes balance, like the yin and yang. She's got the Torah, but it's half hidden, which implies that she only reveals some things, but not all things, because you have to be ready to learn the deeper secrets when the time is right. The moon symbolizes mystery and unknown, and the pomegranates in the background symbolize that there is a lot of potential and fruit, but there's this hard casing that you have to get through first. So it's sort of this idea that you have to earn the inner fruits. It's going to take some digging, but it is in reverse as well. So it implies clouded insight. Maybe some manipulation, emotional manipulation as well. I'm not sure. We also got judgment. And judgment is about making a call, following your call, but it's also about making amends, tying up loose ends. Judgment is right at the end of the tarot cycle, the hero's journey cycle. So it's a moment of, it's funny, I said this in my messages from Spirit reading, moment of reckoning. I've never used that in any of my readings, and now I've used it twice. But it's that moment of reckoning, of sort of taking stock of where your relationship is right now. And seeing what can be fixed, what can be amended, what can be altered, and letting the chips fall where they may. The Judgment card is about reaping what you sow, harvesting seeds you have planted. And it could also just mean feeling judged. Either the masculine feels judged by the feminine or is judging the feminine. But I get the sense that perhaps they feel judged for not moving along more quickly in learning to be intuitive, learning to be awake, learning to be in touch with their feelings. They are kind of blocked off in a sense and maybe feel judged for not being more aware and awake. And in layman's terms, this could simply mean they feel they can't keep up with the feminine partner. They feel the feminine partner is growing in leaps and bounds, and maybe they feel they are not. And they are sort of looking at, they're making a call about the relationship. And can I change this? Can I, is this worth salvaging? They may be asking themselves that. So clarify Judgment. I got 6 of Cups to clarify Judgment. And that's sort of the energy of nostalgia, thinking about the past, fond memories from the past, someone that you've known from the past. It can mean somebody coming back from the past as well, but it's also about just having fond memories with a person. And it's about friendship and soulmate connections. So as a clarifier for Judgment, perhaps as the masculine is overviewing the relationship and asking themselves if it's worth salvaging or scrapping as we move into the world energy, which is the energy of endings of cycles and lessons learned and starting over. As they are looking back on the relationship, they are looking back fondly on your memories together, your time together. So I think that's, but they also feel not quite at the feminine's level, but I get the sense that they want to keep going. They want to stay. For the people that I am reading for, who felt drawn to this reading, the masculine, while he is doing trying to do some deep diving and introspection, there is some blockage with the High Priestess in reverse. There is some clouded insight, cloudy vision, but they do want to make it work because there's a lot of fondness there. On the feminine side, I have 9 of Wands, which is an energy of being at your wit's end, being just about ready to throw in the towel, having worked so hard to fight for something and just not knowing if it's even worth it. So there is a sense, this is like Judgment in the sense that it is it's an evaluation of like, do I keep going here? Look, they've got a bandage on their head. They are just exhausted. They've been fighting. And the previous Wands cards also indicate conflict and defensiveness and protecting something that a passion or a dream or a vision or a hope, and they're just like contemplating, because the 10 of Wands is the end, is dropping all the wands out of exhaustion, out of burnout, and just saying, to hell with it, I'm done. So, yeah, feminine in this, for who I'm reading for, they're kind of, yeah, getting to the end of their rope because things are not changing. But, and remember, we had Loyal Heart in reverse, so perhaps the feminine was questioning how much longer she could stay in this situation if it doesn't change. We also have the Hanged Man, which is the energy of looking at something from a different perspective. So even though the feminine is perhaps getting to the end of her tether, she's willing to just take a time out. Maybe there's even a break that happened there was a break that, or a pause within the relationship so that each person could do some inner work and ground and rebalance themselves with the promise of coming back together, with the agreement that it wasn't over, but just taking a break. I'm not sure, but the feminine is definitely just looking at things from a different perspective, from an upside down angle. Now the hangman didn't put himself up there on purpose, but he also didn't struggle. He's just exhausted from having tried other things and they didn't work. So now it's a time of just thinking about things from a different perspective and trying to decide where to go next. Anything else for the feminine? We got the 9 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles both reversed. So the 9 of Pentacles is a single woman. Typically a single woman. Still, it's just energy, not gender specific, but it's a single woman who has everything she could possibly want, and she earned it all on her own independently, but has trouble finding a mate. But she worked really hard over a long period of time. As you can see, there's a snail to indicate that it was slow going, but she is doing quite well for herself. But it is in reverse, which I understand in this context to mean she doesn't want to be alone. She doesn't want to be by herself. She has the independence and knows she can be on her own and is comfortable with the thought of being alone, but doesn't want to be. Doesn't want to be. And then with the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, it's holding on. Well, when it's not in reverse, it's about holding on too tightly. As you can see, he's got all his money is in every nook and cranny he can store it, and holding on super tight. And it can also mean holding on too tightly to feelings or emotions, or not sharing your feelings with someone else. So it's the energy of hanging on for better or for worse. But in the reverse, it's about letting go. And I don't get the sense it's about letting go of the relationship necessarily, not if the feminine doesn't want it, but it's about letting go of, as we talked about at the beginning, letting go of whatever the issue is, looking at the relationship and saying, how is it going? And knowing that you can't change the other person. So basically letting go, I see this as letting go of control over how the relationship manifests. Pentacles represent things in the material realm, not just money, but anything that manifests, anything that you can create or you can see. It can be anything tangible, but in this case, I think it can also mean just something that you want or something you're thinking about, which is the relationship. So I see this as she's just willing to let it go in terms of not control the masculine, because you can't. So letting go of the need to control the masculine's journey, you know, either you will be able to go on the journey together or you won't. But both the masculine and the feminine need to do that inner work to make sure that they are solid in who they are in order to come together in a healthy, balanced way as God or as Spirit intended people to be. That work needs to be done. So whatever needs to be done to get out of the way and let the work happen, whether that means staying together or, as this was reversed, taking some time apart, whatever is needed for each the divine masculine and feminine to do their important inner work, is that takes precedence. And so if the work can be done while being together, great. If it can't, then maybe a break is needed. Or oh, we got the Emperor, just to clarify the divine feminine side, which is sort of the energy of being an organizer, somebody who sort of moves chess pieces around the board and organizes crusades, or is just very, very logical thinker. And so, yeah, I think the feminine is embodying an energy of wanting to control the relationship. Again, this is just for those of you who it resonates. If you're watching this and going, I'm the feminine and I'm not being controlling, then this isn't your reading, or this particular part of the reading is not for you, but it is for someone. There are those out there who resonate with the divine feminine side, who are trying to be too controlling of the relationship, and for those who are more spiritually inclined, they may be getting impatient for their partner, who is the divine masculine, to quote unquote catch up to them in terms of their ascension or awakening, or even just where they are at in their maturity, emotional maturity, or life goals, or however you want to put it, in whatever terminology that makes sense. There is this energy of wanting the feminine, wanting to control the masculine and micromanage, and it's not going well. And so hopefully the feminine is leaning towards letting things go, and it looks like she is. But just be aware of that. If you resonate with this, and if you resonate as being the feminine, just be aware that you might be a little bit too controlling towards your partner, in terms of expecting them to just, you know, get more organized, or get more exercise, or find a better job, or whatever it is. I don't know. So I'm just gonna use the Good Tarot deck now to draw some mutual energies. Mutual energies between the masculine and the feminine. We have the King of Earth, which is a good, solid, grounded energy, but it's also something that takes a long time to work up to, build up to. Let's see what else we get. It's very materially abundant, but also quite stuck in his ways and stubborn. So that is a mutual energy. Take it as it resonates for whichever side. Maybe it's both. Probably because it's mutual energies. There's a little bit of stubbornness on both sides. A little bit of unwillingness to change. Try new things. So this is why the warning is coming out to not try too hard to change things, and just let things be as they be. Because, you know, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the more you try to change someone against their will, they tend to have a way of, you know, pushing back and intentionally not changing. Not necessarily speaking from personal experience, but oh, look at this. Queen of Earth. Okay, so we have a divine counterpart. The Queen and the King, they go together, obviously. Interestingly, if I hold it this way, she's looking at him. And if I hold it this way, she's not. Which one are you? Bum, bum, bum. I'm just going to put them like that. But, you know, doesn't really matter. So there you go. That implies balance. That implies that for some of you, once you work through these issues and let go of some things and let the masculine, you know, learn what he needs to learn in his own time and be patient. Conclusions are within reach. Perhaps it won't be long until you guys get to that place of balance and grounding. There is a lot going for you, though, if you can get through this time, this challenging time of whatever it is. Well, but there is a lot of abundance there. And just to go along with that, we also got 10 of water. Wow. Which is the absolute everything you could want. Emotional happiness, love, equality, harmony, harmonious relationships. So we got that as well. and 3 of Earth, which is 3 of Pentacles, which is building foundations. The number 3 is the beginnings of building something. And so if you look at 2 as being the energy of partnership, and 2 of Cups is 2 lovers, then 3 is those 2 people coming together and building something together. Whether it goes anywhere after that is up to them. There's this energy of looking to the future. As you can see, she's kind of shielding her eyes and looking beyond, looking ahead to see where is this going to go. So I'm not promising this will be a forever thing, but it's looking really, really good right now. And there is the potential for balance and abundance and working things out. There's a lot of really positive cards here. So really it's just a matter of letting the masculine work through things at his own pace without being too pushy and not micromanaging. Deciding for yourself which side of this card you want to fall on. You know, do you want to stay loyal and see it through, or do you need to accept that the person isn't going to change and so move on? But there is an element of the feminine being patient and the masculine wanting to make it work because there are a lot of good memories there. So I'm just going to close with a Crystal Spirit card. Okay, first we have Amber. Look at that, number 3. I was just talking to you about the significance of number 3 in numerology. Amber, the essential meanings are healing family patterns, releasing karma, preserving the wisdom gained by the lessons of the past. Yes, we can learn from the past, but we can't learn from a future that has not yet happened. And the relationship message is, in romantic relationships, we always have a choice to stay or go, to learn and grow, or to move on to a new partnership. If you want to have a different sort of relationship the next time around, Amber Spirit's message to you is clear. Explore your family relationships. The nuggets of wisdom you mine will help you avoid repeating the pain of the past in your partnerships today and in the future. Find these hidden gifts of wisdom and strength so that you may enjoy the loving partnership you deserve. Interesting. So it mentions some family patterns of the past that might be hindering growth. That might be a message for the masculine, but certainly for the feminine as well. But also this idea of evaluating the relationship, whether you stay or go. There's very much, and as I showed you with these 2 cards, whether they face each other or not, it's really up to you whether you stay or go. But you are being encouraged to do that evaluation or do the work that's necessary, but also accept, but also to call a spade if changes will not be had. You know, que sera, sera. What will be, will be. There's also Celestite, which is a beautiful heart. Connection to the angelic realm and divine energy, clear channels for communication with your guides and universal consciousness. So this is taking it to a higher 5D level now. Right now, guides and angels who understand human frailties are close by, nudging you and whispering to you, sending you love and helping you with any specific challenges you are facing in your relationships. So I'm just going to pause there to say, while some things may be fated and beyond your power to change, fate also implies there is divine help. There's divine help all around you to help the relationship go in a divinely ordained direction. They are completely dedicated to being that perfect friend, teacher, or healer, and will do all they can to connect you to people with gifts for you. So listen to the message of Celestite Spirit and open your eyes to the workings of guides and angels in your life today. They will operate through people, strangers and newcomers in your life often. So if you have been isolating yourself, break out of that now. Pay attention to those being sent your way by the beings who know just who can help you. Enhance your relationship with guides and angels by reaching out to them with a prayer or request today. I take this card to mean as well that the person that you're currently in a relationship with can be a gift to you. And so to look at that person's role in your life as being a gift, what they have taught you. So even if they may seem a bit stuck, whichever side of this you're on, if you feel judged for being stuck, or if you feel your partner is stuck and not at your level, to still have that energy of gratitude that for what they have brought you thus far, and not to forget that part of it. Not to forget that they did come into your life for a reason, and that doesn't negate, the current issues don't negate the gifts, the value in the gifts that that person brought. So again, take that how it resonates for whichever side of this that you are on. This is basically an encouragement to look at your current relationship head on. It's about having wisdom to know what can and cannot be changed, and having the courage to know the difference, or however that adage goes. If there is room for patience, if you have time and the desire to be patient, then as the feminine, stop micromanaging the masculine. And for the masculine, if you are doing that inner work, just keep going. You're doing a great job. And as long as you both stay grounded in who you are and what you both want, and if your goals are aligned, then you can both walk together towards that promise, towards the sunset, and continue on the journey together. And for those of you who feel the time has come for it to end, that is okay too, because ultimately what's most important is your individual growth, your growth as individuals. And whether that makes sense to be to be together or to be apart is completely up to you. So I wish you the best as you navigate through this next chapter in your relationship. May you make your decisions through groundedness, through love, through fairness, and ultimately through a divine love for yourself, first and foremost, and for your partner. Love and light to you. Someone who's more of an energetic or vibration. Some. Ba-doop-ba-ba.